Today on the channel, we're looking at the deluxe G.I. Joe Classified Series Dr. Mindbender on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
Hey, out there in action figure land, Way I Got It Figured, the sheriff back with another G.I. Joe Classified Series review. This time, Dr. Mindbender. Dr. Mindbender is a deluxe figure who was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, as well as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I got mine on Hasbro Pulse the weekend of the San Diego Comic-Con, when they were sort of time releasing them during the 3 days of the convention. Dr. Mindbender was more or less, he was pretty highly anticipated, but there's an asterisk with it. Not that Dr. Mindbender isn't a cool character, but his obvious connection to the Cobra Emperor Serpentor made him that much more desirable. So we'll be looking at him, his accessories, his packaging, some fun facts about Dr. Mindbender here in a second. So next up, we will look at his box. All right, so here's Dr. Mindbender's box. He has a little slip case with a Cobra DNA symbol on him. Here is his file card symbols. So he has a 4 science, a 1 melee weapons, a 4 looks like some kind of engineering, and a 3 weapons development, a 4 I don't know what that is. I'll have to check that. And 3 weapons development. He's number 43 in the series. Side, nothing there. On the back, we have Dr. Mindbender and his looks like we're looking at his plan to create a genetic clone from the DNA molecules of history's greatest warriors and conquerors. There he is, going in somebody's tomb underwater. We remove the slipcase, we get a little bit better look. Here he is with Destro, and looks like he's got some uniform plans there. It's a pretty cool set, pretty cool picture. In the cartoon, as you know, he had kind of a dream with this DNA sequence. Looks like they're kind of using both the comics and the cartoon for these for the back art for him, and in the Serpentor video you'll see that too. And of course, he has a trifold where you can see Dr. Mindbender and his accessories all in little cubby holes. So next up, we're going to get Dr. Mindbender out and examine him and his accessories. Okay, so here's Dr. Mindbender with his accessories arrayed before him, as I like to do. He comes with quite a few accessories. Being a deluxe figure, obviously you would expect that. The first one, he has a pistol here, and this pistol is an approximation of the 1986 figure accessory, which was like a light gray color, but this is almost the exact same weapon, just cast in black. He has his mind control device, also from 1986. And you have this hose you can connect it to, like he came back with in the day. And he also has this other sort of weapon, mind control weapon, or whatever it is, that you can plug also into that hole. But of course, the main thing that you're going to do with that is this canister. So he came with a little, like a box with a fan on it in 1986. Fortunately, I don't have a Dr. Mindbender from 1986, so I'll have to try and explain the differences. But he has this canister that this is meant to interact with, and then there's a spot on his belt, which I'll show a little bit later, where it plugs in and he can still have his mind control device. Then he has this medical sort of thing. Looks like something you might, shoot a drug into, like a needle, an injector. That's the word I'm looking for. An injector. Then he has this desiccated hand that looks like it's got some wires through it, like he's experimenting on it. And that can be placed inside this jar, which comes apart. Like so. Placed back in there. And he also comes with this skull, which is a two-piece skull where the top opens up, and you can stick this brain that he comes with inside the skull of one of his bizarre and grotesque experiments. But the brain also can be placed inside this jar. Like so. And then he has these 4 cartridges, I guess we'll call them, that you can stick it in there like that on this one. It seems kind of backwards to me, but that's how it works. And also on the original quote-unquote weapon, like that. And you got 4 of them, so if you lose 1 or 2, you're covered. That's it for his accessories. Now for Dr. Mindbender himself. We're going to get a close-up look at him. So he's, quite muscular, which the 1986 figure was, kind of muscular. He had skinny arms, like he wasn't, built out like a lot of the other characters, but around 1986 when they started making figures actually buff. And his cape is, a very nice material, soft goods. Always love to see soft goods capes. One major difference, I might go as far as to say is disappointing, is the original version in 1986 had a silver Cobra symbol on the back of his cape. Also, in the box, it comes folded down like this. But, you know, he always had the kind of the popped collar. So I popped mine. I think that's the way it's supposed to look. His articulation is the standard G.I. Joe articulation with drop down legs. You know, he can kick pretty high. Well, actually, he doesn't want to kick that high. There you go. The gun leg, the holster leg is going to be somewhat limited due to how the holster is around his leg and on the belt. But it's accurate to the figure. So, you know, the original figure, so that's cool. His gauntlets are straight out of the original figure too. The black gloves. I like what they did with the monocle. It's just sort of attached to his face. One other difference is, which even on the box they kind of show it, the little Cobra symbol there. The figure doesn't have like the clasps. No, there are no clasps there for the Cobra symbol. But you know, it's not too terrible. However, as a member of Cobra, an actual member of Cobra, he doesn't have any Cobra insignia on his person. The original figure also didn't have these purple straps on. I don't know what they're supposed to do or why they're there, but maybe they just felt like using it to break up the colors. But I mean, there was no need to do that on the 1986 figure, and I don't really see a need to do it here. Yeah, this is Dr. Mindbender front, Dr. Mindbender back, Dr. Mindbender side, Dr. Mindbender side. All right, next we'll gear him up, see how he looks. All right, so here's Dr. Mindbender all geared up. He's got his injector and his mind control device. His pistol is in his holster, and his device is attached to his belt. So Dr. Mindbender, he's a pretty cool character. He was sort of brought in to the comic book to replace Dr. Venom, who had developed the brainwave scanner. And Dr. Mindbender's, stated job on his file card was the master of mind control. And according to his file card, he used to be a kindly orthodontist who was, I guess, looking to, eliminate pain from his patients when they were trying to do his, get their dental work done, I guess. And he had developed some technology to help with that, but he experimented on himself, and it made him greedy, cruel, and vain. And then he became obsessed with mind controlling people. But of course, he also has developed several other technologies. On G.I. Joe, I want to say 43 is when he first shows up, and in that comic, he was the developer of the bats, and he was trying to join Cobra or something like that, Destro and the Baroness, and they used the bats and Lady J and a group of New Joes, foiled them, but he still got to join Cobra. And then in issue 49, of course, is the famous issue where he and Destro raid the tombs of history's greatest conquerors to create a clone super soldier for Cobra's ranks. I guess to potentially increase their own personal power within Cobra. Not necessarily to take over from Cobra Commander. Until they created the Cobra Emperor. And in the comic, one of the components of Serpentor was Storm Shadow, who was stated to be one of the greatest warriors of the modern era. And they did get his DNA because the Baroness had shot him trying to escape Cobra Island. A couple of issues, maybe like G.I. Joe 45, with Snake Eyes, once they found out that Zartan was the killer of the Hard Master. And they attempted to kill him unsuccessfully. So you had the history's greatest despots, and you had Storm Shadow in the mix to create Serpentor. All right, I'm gonna give final thoughts. G.I. Joe Classified Series, Dr. Mindbender, number 43. It's an excellent figure with a lot of cool accessories. I don't know, how much I'll use the accessories with them. I'm not a 10-year-old kid or a 12-year-old kid anymore, but they're welcome. I like a lot of accessories, gives you options. When I got it figured, I'm going to go ahead and give Dr. Mindbender, I'm gonna give him a 10. He's pretty cool, and the accessories that he comes with sort of overcomes any slight, perhaps, boredom I might have received from the figure. If you didn't get this guy, I believe he is slated to get a normal release at some point in the future. And hey, perhaps the normal release will have the Cobra symbol on the cape. And maybe we'll just come with this and the pistol. I'm sure he'll just come with less accessories, but I believe that is on the books. So please, if you like the content, give me a like, subscribe, and comment. I'm always working to make these videos better. And everybody stay safe out there. And I'll see you back here for the next video, which will be Serpentor. Peace.